So I'm not one to do reviews of things very often, but this is a review of the ZAutomotive Tazer product. I've got a 2016 Dodge Challenger RT, which is the 5.7 liter Hemi, and the only modifications to this that I've done is swap the stock air filter with a K&N high airflow one. The stock air box is still the same as it was. So when I normally drive this thing without the ZAutomotive Tazer product installed, I get around 19 miles, sometimes 20 miles to the gallon. On average, probably somewhere in between. So the last week I bought the ZAutomotive Tazer and I installed it. I didn't even know it had an eco mode. So this is just unbelievable. So this is why everybody should buy one of these. And they make this for other products of cars, other types of cars, not just for the Challenger. But so my fuel mileage went up from average mile per gallon went up from 19 to 28.3 miles. So this was a long trip I took. I left this morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and on a business trip to southern Missouri, I rode 300 and something miles. So here we can see that right here. As I reset this, this says I made 27.8 miles per gallon. But you can see I went 300.7 miles, 305 miles, almost 306. So that's a good average to get that. Now, Missouri is a very hilly state. So I was going up and down hills all the time. You know, if you were on a flat plain or live in a very flat state, you probably get 35 miles a gallon. And if you had the V6, who knows what you'd get. But so the one thing I want to point out is another thing I thought about this ZAutomotive Tazer is that that it just got like, it was just fancy graphics and things like that to make a car look cool, but that's not true. What it is actually doing is not giving you more horsepower, though it'll feel like it, but it's actually retuning your car to make it more efficiently use the power that it has. So I'm also running the SRT profile on this as well. So maybe that has something to do with it. It would be interesting for ZAutomotive to, you know, let us know exactly how they were managed to eke out this 28.3 miles. Because think about that. That's 9 miles a gallon. I think the Challenger has a 20-gallon tank. So it's giving you 180 miles extra per tank of gas. And given the price of gas these days, that is very significant. Better, just as good as any commuter car out there. I had a Chevrolet Cruze, and it had a 1.4 liter turbocharged engine in it. And so the Chevy Cruze is a full-size car. It's lighter than what the Challenger is, and it only got about 30 miles a gallon, which is great. But we're talking about a much heavier car here with a much larger engine, and it's just astounding. The other thing is, I read another review about this recently, and it said that it worked well, but it stayed running 4 cylinders, and performance was like a brick. That is absolutely not true. Yeah, performance goes down, but as far as like speed, is still faster than any commuter car out there. And I think that what it's doing is it is reducing the amount of torque that you have available to you. But again, I'm a pretty good shade tree mechanic, and I don't understand how they could do this. Another thing is it's not just running on 4 cylinders. It's using the 4-8 combination. And the other thing I noticed is that it shifts differently. So given the number of RPMs that you're going, it could shift down to 5th gear, then up to 6th, then up to 8, and then back down to 5th gear again, all within just a few seconds. So, you know, that was kind of different. But other than that, I don't really have an explanation for this, other than you really need to get one of these things for a couple $100. It's absolutely worth the money that you're going to save if you're saving 160 miles per tank of gas. I mean, wow, just wow.